Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be your Raid Shadow Legends update for March 6th. We've got a post coming through from Community Manager Marius. I'm going to go over that and kind of, read that for you, let you know my thoughts on kind of what's coming up soon in the game. And then we've got tournaments, events, offers, all that type of stuff. I'm going to just generally get you caught up on Raid. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so we'll go over the post first because that's probably the most important thing here. Let's go ahead, pull that up. And we've got this coming through. Hey everyone, we have some exciting news for you and an opportunity to provide the dev team with early feedback. First things first, given the recent delay with the release of patch 1.13, we've decided to adjust our development cycle in order to ensure you guys have a steady stream of new features. That's good on the surface, but saying that doesn't really mean much. The player base's trust in Plarium is pretty much as low as it can get. So it's really going to need to be actions above words. But hey, I mean, thanks for acknowledging it. There's going to be one more innovation. Namely, we will publish small press release articles like the one you are reading now. Always good to be updated more often. But the problem is, like the roadmap, everybody appreciated the transparency and the update. But if you're just going to throw it away and not stick to it, it doesn't really mean anything. Like the press releases and the updates they do way more harm than good if you can't actually come through with it. Like the ones you're reading now, with the information regarding upcoming features and changes. Please keep in mind that changing circumstances may affect the upcoming update. So not everything you read below is set in stone, but it is the current game plan. Check it out and leave your feedback in the comments below. So, okay. I teased this a little bit ago. They were talking about this behind the scenes, and we knew there was going to be a daily login reward system coming through, or at least an extension to the current one that ends at 90 days. I did believe that it was going to be a 120, 150, 180, but now it's good to get confirmation that that is exactly what's going to be going on. And we're going to be getting the legendary at 180 and the 2 epics before that. It looks like you're going to get Void Shard, Book, Gems, all the standard stuff. So we can't see every single thing here, but at least we get to see the artwork of the champions and know what they are and exactly how it's going to be implemented. So with the constant influx of new players and the growing ranks of veterans in Raid, we felt it is time to further enhance the current daily login rewards program. This will not be a replacement of the old one. Instead, this will be an addition that will boost the entire program to 180 days in total. New daily login rewards will be available to all players and will comprise of a variety of valuable rewards, including gems, skill tomes, shards. On top of that, there will be 2 new epic champions and 1 legendary on days 120, 150, 180. Okay, you can find a detailed description of these champions and their skills below, so that'll be fun. We can finally see them actually and go over them. And we see the artwork. So it's going to be Sile of Drakes is the legendary barbarian. Lordly Legionary is the epic from Bannerlords, and then we get Dark Elhain. So we've got Dark Aethel and now Dark Elhain. So let's go ahead and go over all of these abilities and and get a general look at them. Alrighty, so first off, we've got Sile, something like that. I have no idea what a Sile is, but Sile of Drakes. It's going to be a defense-based champion barbarians. That's kind of what we thought. The A1, 1 enemy, 20% chance of decreased speed, also 30% chance. So the problem with these teasers is they're laid out pretty nice, but the problem is we can't see the book requirements or what the books do. I really wish they would list the whole ability like we see it in game. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, so we can see exactly what the books do, because without that knowledge, it really hinders our ability to take a deep dive look at the champion here. But, the A1, it's all right. It's not really going to work against the clan boss or anything, and it's not an AoE effect, but it's okay. And then the A2 is really good. Attack all enemies 2 times with a chance of placing a stun. I'm going to guess you're going to be able to book that up to a decent, like 40% chance or something. So it should be a pretty consistent AoE stun. And I bet we're going to be able to book that down to a 3-turn cooldown. So that'll be a really, really good ability in Faction Wars and the arena and kind of dungeons in general. Then we've got Revive an ally with 50% HP and place ally protection on them. That's pretty good. That's solid. I like that. I bet we can get that to a 5-turn cooldown, maybe a 4. Then heal all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. This is amazing. It's just going to be a continuous heal, permanent buff, basically. Also place an increased speed buff on random ally on a random ally for 2 turns. So that could mess up counterattack tuning, but all in all, a pretty good passive there. So now let's go into the epic. Lordly Legionnaire Epic Magic Affinity from the Bannerlord is going to be based on attack. The A1 is attack 1 enemy 2 times, place an extra hit if the target is under a heal reduction, and 2 extra hits if under the big heal reduction. So could be pretty good in the Fire Knight, especially if you pair with a Cold Heart. Attack 1 enemy, 75% chance of placing 30% decreased speed. Decrease target's turn meter by 20% if. I wish this was attack 1 enemy 2 times. I wish it would really synergize with the multi-hit theme and the Fire Knight theme, but okay. We can probably get that to a 3-turn cooldown and decrease turn meters there, especially on the Fire Knight. Place a 30% reflect damage buff and continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns. We can probably get that to a 4-turn cooldown. Again, reflect damage is a mechanic that can help you do well in the Fire Knight. It's not as good as counterattack, but it can help you, break that shield. So I expect Lordly to be worth building for a lot of your early to mid game players that are struggling with the Fire Knight. Probably not going to be very useful to many other places than the Fire Knight, if I had to guess right now. Alrighty, and Dark Elhain. So always fun to get dark versions of the starting champions because they're some of the more popular champions in Raid, obviously. The only problem is we got Dark Aethel and she's like bad. There's a chance and there's some rumors that she might be good for future content, like the new clan boss that they've been teasing for a year, but we obviously don't know that yet. So let's hope Dark Elhain is better than Dark Aethel, or at least usable in the current state of the game. Attack 1 enemy, decreases target's max HP by 30%. So she could be good in the right scenario for Spirit Keep on that. And then 50% increase attack buff on this champion for 2 turns, then AoE attack. 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff. That's not bad. That's going to be pretty good for the arena. She'll buff herself and then lower their speed. We could probably get that to a 3-turn cooldown. That could be pretty good for faction wars and dungeons as well. Instantly remove any freeze debuff on this champion and replace it with a 30% increased crit rate, 30% increased crit damage, and a 15% strengthen whenever an enemy places a freeze on this champion. So the fact that she buffs herself can put her at risk against Torments in the arena, and this is to counter or to kind of counter that effect. So that'll actually do nothing but buff her and make her stronger. So she's going to be good to kind of slot in your teams against Torments, but I wish she was like a different affinity. Magic is so common, and the other Elhain is magic. I guess they're trying to keep her the same affinity as the other Elhain. I would have made her like Force or something though, but anyway. Fill this champion's turn meter by 25% and instantly activate the Death's Majesty skill whenever the champion or an ally receives a freeze. So fill turn meter, fill this champion's turn meter, and instantly activate her A2 whenever this champion or an ally receives a freeze. Okay, so whenever anyone gets frozen, she's going to buff herself and then attack all enemies and decrease their speed. So there's a chance we could get her in like a stun set and just be constantly stunning the other team anytime you're up against a freeze like Tormund. So there's some potential there. I do like this champion better than Dark Aethel. She's going to at least have some utility in the current game, and we don't have to kind of theory craft that she's going to be useful someday. She at least has a role in the current game, and it should be fun to kind of build her and test her out in certain scenarios. So moving on to the other stuff here. Platinum tier rewards. I've done a video on this. This was already kind of teased a little bit ago, and we knew a lot of this stuff. Basically, they're just going to be restructuring the rewards in Platinum. I don't know why this is a priority. Like, don't get me wrong, it needs to happen, but there's definitely priorities that are way higher on the list for this. So this would have been pretty low on what they should have been working on, in my opinion. I understand releasing new gear should make players a little bit more excited to try to get into Platinum, and then they can sell these as gear packs and maybe make a little bit of money. But the game is kind of dropping in the App Store. It went from number 6 to number 20 in the Apple App Store just within the last month or so. It's gone down 14 spots from 6 to 20 about. So they're kind of hemorrhaging a little bit, and they really need to do stuff not catering towards the 0.001% of players in Plat. They need to be doing things that cater to the 99.99% of players in the other areas of the game. But Anyway, I digress. I don't want to turn this into a rant about that. It's just kind of my general thoughts on why this could be a mistake, but it should be good for those people in Platinum. They're going to be restructuring it first, second, and third places in Platinum, okay, and then 4 to 20 is a different tier, 21 to 30 is a different tier after that. And in case you didn't see my other video or you haven't seen these sets yet, they are actually pretty insane. So you've got this parry set. It is 4 set, but it's going to be 18% speed, 30% crit damage, and 50% chance to get unkillable when that champion receives fatal damage. So it's going to be an absolute god tier set for damage dealers, and it's just a really good set. Speed, crit damage, and chance to stay unkillable. Then we've got Deflection, also a god tier set. It's going to be 20% HP and 20% defense as a 4-piece set, and a 25% chance to deflect a debuff onto the attacker. Absolutely crazy, insane set there for obvious reasons. And then Affinity and Dungeon Potions. This is a long-standing request indeed. We've monitored the situation with potions for a while and took several steps to help players potion mixing, which was huge. I'm glad they added that. Additional sources, such as Clan Boss chests, but with the multitude of new champions added to the game, we also want to make sure our players have a more certain way of obtaining potions to ascend them. As such, we will be significantly increasing the number of lesser potions in a single drop for the later stages of Affinity Keeps. As an example, where you could get 7 lesser potions at stage 15 before, you will now get 7 lesser potions at the minimum. So basically 7 used to be the maximum in terms of lesser potions on the stage 15 of the potion keep. Now 7 is going to be the minimum. So this is definitely a good change, and it's just like, there's no negative to this. It's just a good change. So I am happy about that. It's a little bit late in my opinion, but hey, better late than never. So at least they're addressing that. And then speed hack fixed. I never really dove into looking into that, but supposedly there was some sort of speed hack. Now, I believe this is something different than the index glitch. The index glitch was where you could make the game not show the animations. So people were doing dungeons in like 5 seconds instead of 2 minutes because there's no animations. You just go, brrr, you just burn through it. The speed hack is something different. I think that's something you like download. It's like a third-party program or something. I think I never looked into it, but I do think it was different than the index glitch. So at least they're fixing that. AI for Septimus, that has been a point of contention in the raid community for a long time, and definitely good. They're finally going to fix that. Septimus will be much better after that fix. Yannica, Angar, Sathalia, and Shamrock will have their ratings reset due to significant balance changes that we've made in the previous update. Okay, that's good. Yannica didn't really get affected. She wasn't really buffed enough, in my opinion. Angar was affected a little bit. He's definitely better than he was before. Sathalia and Shamrock probably got the best of the buffing. They're both pretty good legendaries now. And they don't have Foley on here. I don't know if that was a mistake, but Foley was also changed and probably should have had his stuff reset as well. But they don't have that on here, so we'll have to see if they do that or not. By the way, LOL at the top comment here. Okay, but anyway, so that kind of covers the press release about the upcoming patch. Let's go over the stuff in game, get you guys caught up on everything like the tournaments and the events and the offers and stuff. Okay, so we've got a champion chase tournament. Let's go ahead, pull this up, see if it's something you should be thinking about pulling your shards or not. So it's going to be the standard. There's nothing really changed in terms of the points and stuff. The general way to kind of think about this is in champion chase tournaments like this, your ancient shards are going to be worth about 30 points per shard. Over the course of a large sample size, it's like 30 to 35, somewhere in there. And your void shard is going to be somewhere between like 70 and 75, somewhere in there. So it ends up being about 160 to 170 ancient shards to max out this event to get the 5,000. And I think it's like 75 voids or so to max out this event. Too expensive. This needed to be a legendary book at 2,000 and another one at like 2,500. It's just too many shards to pull without a fusion or an X2 going on to max out and get these books. So my first kind of general feeling is it's not worth it. You might as well not dive in and kind of wait. It looks like most people are agreeing with me on that. In my group, we've got, well, how big are the groups? 100 people, okay. And I've got, out of 100 people, it looks like 10 are thinking about pulling shards, so about 10%, which I think is going to be pretty accurate. You're probably going to see less than 10% of players using this as an opportunity to really pull shards. But there is a full 6-piece legendary relentless set, which obviously is a pretty good reward. But in terms of an event like this would need to be like 3 sets of 6-star relentless in order for me to pull that many shards when they're not buffed. Yeah, not really a whole lot to cover other than I kind of recommend just kind of waiting out on this one and not really participating, unfortunately. The Dragon Tournament, disappointing to not see a legendary book at 2,500. I would have liked to squeeze that in here, but they know the Dragon is a super common dungeon, so they don't really have to offer very good rewards for people to really go after it. In terms of going after the Relentless gear, you're going to have to kind of weigh your options in terms of your group. What I'm doing is just kind of staying within striking distance until I get within about 6 hours of it ending, and then seeing how it shakes out to decide if I want to go for it or not. Don't really want to get into a whale war for one event here. And then in terms of the events, we've got the Arena Assault ending in a day or so. This one was pretty player friendly, pretty easy to complete. I didn't really go hard with arena refreshes or anything, and I was able to complete it. But admittedly, I am in Gold 4, so it's a little bit easier for me than some of you newer players. But at least this is a pretty friendly event. And the Artifact Enhancement event, I did tweet about this. It took me about 11 to 12 million silver, if I remember right. So keep that in mind if you're trying to max this out. There's probably cheaper ways to do it, like just upgrading a bunch of stuff to level 8. A bunch of 5-star or 6-star stuff to level 8 is probably the most efficient route. Level 8 or level 12, that in there. But if you have artifacts you want to take to 16, now is the time to do it. It's a better time than any, and the rewards here are pretty decent. I think that, again, both these events are pretty player friendly. We're getting lots of energy and gems, void shard. Anytime we can get epic or legendary books, it's a good opportunity to do so, especially if it's an event and not a tournament. So in terms of offers, this video is already kind of, long-winded because of the post by Marius going over that and all that. So I won't plug these in the offer calculator. The offer calculator is down in the video description. You can pull that up. And I did do these live on stream today, and both of these were kind of, they're all right. They're not terrible. They're not good. They're just kind of all right. The Ultra Mix Pack, anytime that we get a pack that is a month long, they're usually pretty amazing. And this pack is pretty good. It's one of the better packs you're ever going to get offered in Raid. The bonus potions pack, this one's not very good unless you're like a brand new player and you can't farm ascendancy potions. I guess then it could be okay, but again, even for a newer player, I recommend leaning towards buying shards and gems instead of potions. So this one doesn't have any shards in it, so it's gonna kind of be a no for me no matter who you are. And then gear offers are typically bad no matter what. They're really only there for whales. But in terms of gear offers, this is probably the best one you're ever going to get. $25 for a full 6-star epic set of speed. Again, I don't really recommend it. The gear offers are really big whale gambles. But in terms of gear offers, this is the best one you're probably ever going to see. Don't know why the mini mix packs are $25 now. I haven't bought one for almost 2 months, but I'm still getting $25. I haven't really spent hardly any money in the last 6 weeks or so, and even I am getting $25 mix packs. These need to go back to $5 or $10. Like $3 for your free-to-play players, $5 for your medium, and $10 for your high spenders. That's what they should be. I don't know why they would rather have no money than some money, because when these were $5, I was buying them all the time. So in the last month, they probably would have gotten $150 from me in terms of buying $5 mix packs, but instead they're $25 and I never buy them and they get 0. So I don't understand the thought process there, but maybe they have access to some sort of analytics and they do make more money every day the more expensive they are or something. I don't know. I don't have access to their numbers, but yeah, very interesting on that, and I wanted to touch on it quickly because I don't really understand. But okay. Hopefully that kind of catches you up on everything going on in Raid currently. And yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.